Hi, can you hear me? Hello? Is this Matthew?
Hello.
Okay, that doesn't, okay, there you are. How are you? I'm going to go back one slide here so you can see all the stuff about panelists. Do you have any questions about anything there? Matthew, you're muted.
Before we get started on this at 6, would I be able to ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want.
Oh, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
That might be my fault. Let me see.
Okay, my microphone says that it's working. Here, let me stop sharing. You still can't hear me?
I can't hear you. That's weird.
Well, it might be me. Let's see what. Let me plug myself back in. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Every once in a while, I need to undo and come back in. You see when my camera doesn't work. That's always fun too.
Well, amazing. Hi. Oh, whoops.
Hi.
I have you over on that screen. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Have you done these before?
I had done, when was it? I did the OACAC on September 15th, but that is the only other one that I've done.
Okay. Did you have any questions about how to share or any of the goodies like that?
I was going to ask, really quick, would I be able to share my screen with you for just a minute, just to make sure it works? Okay.
Yep. I usually suggest you do that.
Cool.
You have permission.
Okay.
There you go. There it is.
So, all right, awesome. Do you see the screen? Do you see the screen that says becoming a son or daughter of Marshall, or do you see my entire presenter view?
I see just the screen. When you put it in presenter, the edges went away.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, and you have your Marshall logo down at the bottom. Do you have any videos or anything embedded or that you're going to show?
No, I am not going to show any videos.
Okay, and not sharing any audio other than your own voice?
Correct.
Okay. Does anyone who attends can use the Q&A down at the bottom? It's your choice whether you answer them live or whether you wait till the end. I can't put anything in there, but they can. Even if people have signed up, if they don't show up, you'll still get their contact information afterwards so that you can follow up with them. We start on the hour. We will go as long as 45 minutes. If it's shorter, then we just end where you're done.
All right, that sounds perfect with me.
Okay, and I have a beginning slide and a small spiel that I have to do it, and then I turn it over to you. And then at the end, whenever you finish, you can just say, I'll turn it back over to our OACAC person or whatever you want to call me. I'm Brenda, by the way. And then I'll do the ending slide, do a little spiel, and then we'll call it a night.
That sounds perfect to me.
Okay, sounds good. Oh my goodness, this has been a season, hasn't it?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's been absolutely insane. I know here at Marshall, we were going around it. Well, so for context, I graduated from Marshall with my bachelor's degree in journalism. And I did a lot of video production work. And so at the beginning of whenever all of this was happening, the dean of admissions was like, hey, we need like a new version of the virtual tour. Would you all be interested in doing that? And we were like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And so that one video then turned into approximately 90 videos.
Oh my
um,
goodness.
that that have been worked on over the course of this season.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
it's been an interesting combination of doing or attempting to do normal recruitment and then also doing all of the videos and then just general life as well. So it's been an absolutely crazy recruitment season.
Yeah. Are your numbers looking pretty good?
Yeah, as of right now, I feel like part of one of, or at least like I don't really look at anybody else's numbers, but I know like mine are looking decent. Um, and one of the reasons for that I feel like is because a surprising amount of schools have like actually let me come in to present
Oh, really?
to their
Huh.
students. Yeah, and so it's been like it was a and whenever I say surprising amount, it's still probably only like 30% of the schools I visit were
Okay.
actually letting me in, but that's about 30% more than I assumed were going to let me in.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's why I feel like they're good and they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be during all of this. Um,
That's refreshing.
but yeah, and I feel like Ohio, because I'm the only person who works with Ohio, with the exception of our Kentucky recruiter,
Mhm.
Tate, works with Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Um, I have been the um, I have been
Main
like the
Ohio
main
person.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I refer a lot of students there.
Oh,
One of
cool.
them actually finished his master's last year, so that's good.
That's
Um,
incredible. Which
yeah. I'm
what?
actually an independent counselor. I was a school counselor in a charter school for 10 years, but it's mostly been my independence that I've sent that direction, partly because I've had a couple of kiddos on the spectrum, and your
Gotcha.
support program is fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Um, and so I've been really, really impressed. So, and they've had great experiences, which I knew they would.
Yeah.
So it's been a good thing. And some of them are like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, no, really, you need to go check it out. And when they come back, they're like, I get it now. So, I mean, it's been really exciting to see that and hear that. It's part of
That's
why I volunteered for
wonderful.
this one. I'm like, ooh, all right, we're going to start now. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good to me.
All right, thanks. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Ohio students. You are in webinar mode, which means your camera and microphone are off. You are muted, your video is off. The panelists cannot see you or hear you. You are encouraged and welcome to ask questions using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And you may present your questions at any time. The presenter may answer them live or may wait till the end. A recording of this session will be available in about a week's time at www.oacac.org, and you may sign up for more sessions at the same site, www.oacac.org. Now I'm going to turn it over to the representative from Marshall University.
All right. Hi, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Matthew Groves. I work with Marshall University. A little bit about me before I get started actually presenting about the university. Um, I am originally from Ripley, West Virginia, which is about an hour and 30 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes away from where Marshall University is located. Um, I graduated from high school back in 2015, and then I graduated from Marshall University in December of 2018 with my bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism, and then I minored in English, and I got a minor in film studies as well while I was a student here. Um, I absolutely love Marshall, and I hope that you all like Marshall too. Essentially, today I'm going to be going over a lot of general information about the university. Feel free to ask whatever questions you all want. I know your all's microphones are muted, but over in the Q&A section, feel free to ask whatever questions you want, whether that be admissions or what life is like on campus or anything anything at all like that, please feel free to ask any questions, and I would be more than happy to answer all of those. But I will go ahead now, and I'm going to share my computer screen with you all. All right, perfect. So I am going to briefly talk about becoming a son or daughter of Marshall, which is what we refer to all of our students here. But before I do talk about all of the in-depth stuff with Marshall, I do briefly want to discuss why I personally chose to attend Marshall. So as I mentioned, I'm originally from West Virginia, and Marshall was somewhere that was just kind of always in my backyard. I had family that had gone here. I had friends that had gone here. I had family that had worked here. And so Marshall was just somewhere that I always knew about. But I didn't know if it was really where I saw myself as a student. It was somewhere that I had just always known, but I was never like, yeah, Marshall's where I'm going to go to school. And then one day, my junior year of high school, I just figured that it might be fun to go down and check out Marshall for a day. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, oh, it'll be great. I can get out of school for a day. It'll be awesome. But then something just happened whenever I was here touring campus, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of comfort and hominess that I had never felt at any of the other schools that I had visited. And it was just a gut feeling I had, and I figured this is where this is where I think I want to go for school. And now it's been about 6 years and I'm still here, and I could not be any happier. So here at Marshall, we have a variety of colleges for you to be able to choose from. The main way that colleges come into play at the university is that they help divide up our majors. So the first one we have is the College of Arts and Media. With the College of Arts and Media, essentially with that houses majors like journalism, which is where I was located, theater, video production, art, music, performance, different things like that are all located in the College of Arts and Media. Then we have our Lewis College of Business. So with business, that has majors like accounting, economics, entrepreneurship, different things like that. I would also like to mention that if you are all interested in going into business, now is a really incredible time to look into Marshall University's business program. One of our alumni, Brad Smith, he within the past couple of years ended his run as the CEO of Intuit, which is the company that does things like TurboTax. He and his wife, Alice Smith, graciously promised a $25 million donation to the university, and we are using that to help revamp our business program, and we are currently laying the groundwork to build an entirely new business college beside Marshall's campus. So if you're interested in business, now's a really great time to look into business. With the College of Education and Professional Development, we have majors such as early childhood education, elementary education, and secondary education. For the College of Health Professions, we have majors like athletic training, biomechanics, communication disorders, medical imaging, nursing, different things like that. With the College of Engineering and Computer Sciences, we have majors like computer science, computer and information security, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, different programs like that. For our College of Liberal Arts, that is home to things like economics, English, communication studies, international affairs, our foreign languages, political science, sociology, psychology, anthropology, all of those. And we have our College of Science. So our College of Science is home to things like the biological sciences, biochemistry, chemical sciences, cyber forensics and security, different things like that. And then finally, we have our University College. So with the University College, it is primarily for undecided majors. One thing with Marshall is that you don't actually have to have a major decided and declared whenever you first come in as a student. You actually have throughout your entire first year to figure that out and figure out what exactly it is you want to go into. We will still partner you up with an academic advisor through our university college if you don't know what exactly you want to go into. They will help you with career and major exploration options and ensure that you are able to learn as much as possible and stay on track to graduate in time without knowing exactly what you want to go into at first. I mentioned academic advisors. Every single student here at Marshall has an academic advisor, and your academic advisor is somebody who is going to be specifically located in your specific college. So for me, because I was a journalism student, my advisor was in the College of Arts and Media, where the journalism program is located. So there are a few things that we need from students to be admitted to the university. The first is a completed application. You're not able to apply until you are a senior. Um, and then we would need a $40 application fee. Um, Once you have completed those, we need a copy of your official high school transcript and an official copy of your ACT or SAT scores. We do accept both. And a copy of your immunization records, including your MMR vaccination. Um, for transfer students, we would need a copy of your college transcripts, and then there is a $50 evaluation fee as well. You'll see at the bottom of the screen, we are a part of the Common App. And so if you are on Common App, you are able to apply that way as well if you would like to. But if you're not interested in applying through the Common App, you can either come here to campus in Huntington, West Virginia and apply, or you can apply on our website at www.marshall.edu. So, we do have some admissions requirements. Marshall's general requirements are based on GPA combined with test scores, either ACT or the SAT. Our general requirements do fluctuate depending on what a student's GPA is and what their test scores are. So the higher your GPA is, the lower your test scores have to be, and the higher your test scores, the lower your GPA has to be. So for any student who has a 2.0 GPA, or at least a 2.0 GPA, we require a 19 on your ACT composite or a 990 on your SAT. Or if a student has a 3.0 GPA, we require a 16 on the ACT or an 880 on the SAT. We do super score all of our test scores as well. So if you don't know what super scoring is, say one time you took the ACT, you got a 25 in math and a 20 in English. The next time you took it, you got a 25 in English and a 20 in math. We will take that 25 in math and that 25 in English and all of your other highest scores and combine them together to hopefully get you an overall higher composite that will allow you to qualify for other programs or qualify for admission here at the university. We do have a few majors that have some special requirements. The first of which is music. So with music, an audition is required, and you would need to go through our School of Music in the College of Arts and Media to set up that audition. We offer both a nursing bachelor's of science in nursing and an associate's degree in nursing. With the bachelor's of science in nursing, there is a separate application that students are required to fill out, and that application has a deadline in January. So please fill out that application if you are interested in the bachelor's of science in the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. As I mentioned, the separate application due in January, and then students must have a 2.5 GPA and a 21 on their ACT to be considered, or a 24 on their ACT for automatic admission to the program. For the associate's degree in nursing, students must have a 3.0 GPA and a 21 on their ACT. For medical imaging, students must have a 2.5 GPA and a math and science ACT score of 19. For our College of Engineering and Computer Sciences, students must have an ACT composite of 21 and a math score of 24. For pre-engineering or computer science, students must have an ACT composite and math score of 19. For our College of Science, students must have an ACT composite and math score of 21. If you do not meet those requirements, you can be admitted as pre-science. You would just be required to take some prerequisite courses that you wouldn't otherwise have to take if you did have that specific test score. So these are merit-based scholarships. The way that these merit-based scholarships operate are they are not competitive in any way, shape, or form. They are solely based on your merit and your merit alone. So, say, for instance, you are a student who is considered non-residential. With non-residential students, our scholarship amounts actually go up depending on which area you live in. We offer the 3 tuition rates: residential, which is for in-state students; metro tuition, which is offered to 6 counties in Ohio; and then non-residential tuition. For metro tuition, we offer that tuition price to the counties of Pike, Scioto, Lawrence County, Gallia County, Meigs County, and Jackson County, Ohio. For non-residential students, that is the remainder of Ohio, other than those 6 counties. For metro students, the overall cost of tuition and fees for an entire year's worth is $14,692. And then for non-residential students, it is $19,466 is what you'd be looking at in terms of tuition and fees. Again, that is before any sort of financial aid or scholarships. So say, for instance, you are a Metro student and you qualify for the John Laidley Scholarship, which is worth $7,000. To qualify for that, you would need to have a 3.7 GPA at least, and at least a 28 composite on your ACT, or at least a 1300 on your SAT. Again, we do super score for these as well. So if you have that 3.7 GPA and a 28 on your ACT, that will qualify you for the John Laidley Scholarship, which is worth $7,000 per year. So you can take the $14,692 and then automatically subtract $7,000 off of that. That only leaves you with around $7,692 for an entire year's worth of tuition and fees that you would need to pay. Marshall University offers a very large variety of other scholarships as well. We offered those scholarships through the Marshall University Foundation Scholars. And one thing that we kind of noticed in the past was that not many students knew about these scholarships. And so we wanted to make sure that every single student was aware of every possible scholarship they could qualify for. And so we created a scholarship portal for you to be able to go through and fill out one singular application that you can hit submit. It'll send it throughout our database, and it will match you up with every possible scholarship you could qualify for. Again, a lot of those scholarships are competitive, so there's no guarantee that a student would receive that scholarship. These scholarships, though, on the screen are not competitive in any way, shape, or form. So the second you hit the qualifications for them, as long as they match up, as long as you match those criteria whenever you are graduating from high school, you would qualify for those scholarships. So there are a few things that we do need from you all once you have been admitted to the university. The first is a $100 enrollment deposit. Now, don't worry, that's not an extra $100 fee. That is essentially a down payment on your tuition here. And that signals to us on the administrative side that you are serious about attending Marshall. And then once you've done that, it opens up the ability for you to get registered for housing. You can pay your housing deposit, as it says on there. You'll be able to get registered for orientation, which is where you would get your first semester schedule and you would meet with your advisor, and you would get your student ID and parking pass. So in terms of parking passes, we do allow first year students the opportunity to have cars on campus. We have two separate parking options. One is an enclosed parking garage that you are able to park in, and the other is we offer a few open surface parking lots available for you to park in. The only real difference between the two of them is that the enclosed garage costs a little bit more money than the open surface lot is. But one benefit with the enclosed garage, whenever it does snow in the winter, you won't have to worry about cleaning off your car like you would in the open surface lot. But you do have multiple options available. And then you would also get registered for your first year experiences like Week of Welcome or WOW Week, and Uni 100, which is a freshman first class that every single student here at Marshall is required to take during their first year. The best way I like to describe that course is it's a Marshall how-to guide. With that how-to guide, they will teach you about a lot of the resources that we offer here on campus and essentially show you ways to make the most out of your time while you are here as a student. One thing I do want to mention in terms of housing, um, we do have a housing requirement here at Marshall for your first 2 years. The only people who are exempt from that are students who live within a 50-mile radius of Marshall University's campus. So that might be some of you, because of the fact that Marshall is located essentially right where West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio all meet together. So some of you might be able to commute, but as someone who lived on campus throughout their entire time as a student, I highly encourage that you live on campus. So, in terms of student support, we offer a variety of options, as you can see. We have our Career Services Center. They host mock interviews, job shadowing, resume help, career and major exploration, help finding jobs on campus as a student, and post-graduation. Tutoring is already included by you being a student, so every student has access to it, and we offer multiple tutoring options. With counseling, all students have access to free mental health counseling here on campus. We have counselors in residence, we have a counseling center, we have our psychology clinic. So no matter what time of day or what time of night it is, if a student at Marshall wants somebody to talk to, there is going to be somebody there for them to talk to. With our writing center, it is located in Drinko Library, which is our main library that we have here on campus. And it is free for students to have papers proofread. You can read over your comments and suggestions, go in and make changes. So that way, whenever you do submit your paper to your professor, it is the best possible paper that it can be. With advising, again, I mentioned earlier that every single student here has an academic advisor. Your advisor is here to help you out with whatever you need in terms of scheduling. You are required to go to your advisor while you still have freshman and sophomore status to get your course schedule approved. But by the time that you have hit junior status, they kind of assume that you recognize what classes you need to take versus what classes you shouldn't take. But you can use me as an example. I still went to my advisor all throughout my entire time as a student just to ask them about recommendations still on when to take specific classes. Even though I didn't need to anymore, I still thought that they were really, really helpful and they helped set me up for success. In terms of student health is an offering of Marshall Health at the Marshall University Medical Center, which is located beside Cabell Huntington Hospital, which is just about a mile down the road from campus. They provide healthcare services for acute illnesses to students. Marshall also offers a shuttle to take students to and from Cabell Huntington Hospital. So if you don't have a car or a vehicle here on campus and you don't have the ability, or you do have a car on campus and you don't have the ability to take that vehicle to the hospital, we will make sure that you are still able to get there. Students who are registered for 6 hours or more in the current semester are fully eligible for all services provided. And then in terms of safety, of course, we have the Huntington Police Department, which does a really, really great job of keeping everybody in the city safe. But then we also have the Marshall University Police Department. They go through the same training that the Huntington Police Department goes through. They just happen to be stationed right here on Marshall's campus. We have help buttons set up all across campus for students to have access to, which serve as a direct contact line to MUPD. And then also our residence halls, just to ensure that everybody feels safe and secure. All of our residence halls do stay locked 24/7. The only way that you are able to get into the residence hall is by being a resident of that building, and your student ID will allow you access to that building. If you do not live in that building, you are required to be buzzed into the building, and then you have to be signed in at the front desk, just to ensure that the people who are in the building do know that they are supposed to be there and that they are allowed in there. So, in terms of student life on campus, again, we have a large variety of options and opportunities available for you. With student activities on campus, there is always something going on here. We have our campus activities board. They do a really great job of bringing in acts to campus, whether that is comedians or free concerts in the plaza, free movie nights, or game nights and DIY nights. They always make sure that students are always having something to do while they are here. With the Martial Artist series, uh, it was one of my favorite parts about being a student here. Nationally acclaimed performers and performance groups will come through Huntington, and Marshall students will get either greatly discounted or completely free tickets to those events. Um, I was a really big theater fan growing up. I still am a really big theater fan. But I had the opportunity to see lots of national Broadway tours that came through here, and that was super exciting. I had the opportunity to hear symphonies, see ballets, stand up comedians like John Mulaney, Anthony Jeselnik, Lewis Black, Steve Martin, Martin Short. They've all been here before. Um, Musicians like the Beach Boys were here. The most I ever paid for a ticket for anything was my sophomore year. Andy Grammer and Gavin DeGraw did a combined concert here in Huntington, and tickets were $10 for students to go to. So, even though for some of the events you are required to spend a little bit of money, we make sure that they are offered at greatly, greatly, greatly discounted rates than what you would find anywhere else. With the recreation center, it's one of my personal favorite buildings on campus. It is already included by you being a student here. It is a 3-story facility. The first floor has 4 basketball courts, all of which convert into volleyball courts. And then we also have indoor swimming facilities, 3 racquetball courts, locker rooms, an indoor rock climbing facility, and an outdoor pursuit center as well for students to rent out things like canoes and kayaks and bikes and different things like that. On the second floor is where we have the majority of your focus on weights and lifting. And then there are also studio rooms for fitness classes like yoga, spin class, cycling class, different things like that. And then on the top floor, we have the majority of our focus on cardio. So your ellipticals, your treadmills, and then there's also an indoor track that runs all the way around the top floor of the rec center as well. In addition to that, the rec center hosts intramural sports. Intramurals, if you don't know what they are, essentially you have the ability to get together with other students, form a team, and then compete in a sport against other teams across the university. While I was a student, I played intramural volleyball, I played intramural softball, and I also played intramural soccer. I was not very good at any of those sports whenever I played them, but they were so much fun, and I made lifelong friends that I still have to this day, that I would not have met if I hadn't have decided to join into an intramural sports team. In terms of athletics, Marshall University is a Division I school. We compete in Conference USA. All tickets to all home sporting events are free for students to be able to go to. Um, I highly recommend that you go to as many possible games as you can. Not only are they very entertaining to watch, but also they're just really big social events, and almost every single person um, goes to these events. And so they are just a great way to be a part of campus. And again, it's free. And Marshall has a variety of free things for you to be able to do while you're a student. And as a former student, I highly recommend you try all of them while you are here. In terms of fraternity and sorority life, we have organizations through IFC, PHC, and NPHC. I highly recommend that students look into Greek life if they are interested. Excuse me. I highly recommend students look into Greek life if they are at all interested in it. They do lots of community service, philanthropy, fundraising, and it's also a group of people to be able to hang out with. So if that sounds intriguing to you, I definitely recommend looking into it, and we have a variety of organizations here. In terms of study abroad, we offer a variety of study abroad options for students, and I highly recommend that you look into studying abroad if you are at all interested in it. That's probably one of my biggest regrets as a student was not studying abroad. I had friends that traveled to Madrid and lived in Madrid, Spain, and studied while they were there, and hearing their stories and their experiences that they had just sounded absolutely amazing, and I was very jealous. So I highly recommend if you are at all intrigued in studying abroad, I definitely recommend looking into it. And then finally, in terms of clubs and organizations, we have over 250 different clubs and organizations for students to be able to be a part of. And I mean, we have something for everybody to be a part of. Um, we have academic focused organizations. We have community service based clubs and organizations, different cultural clubs and organizations here. And then there are just like random clubs that you're able to join too. I know whenever I was a student, there was a club here that was specifically dedicated to the video game Super Smash Brothers. Again, there's something for everybody to be able to be a part of. But if none of those really sound intriguing to you, um, then that is perfectly fine. You can still get together with some friends, and you can actually go to our student activities office, and you can actually become a university sponsored club or organization here on campus if you're interested. So I highly recommend looking into it. All right, so um, that is the end of my large General Marshall University spiel, and I greatly appreciate you all taking the time to listen to it. If you ever do have any questions about anything at all, this is my personal email, matthew.groves@marshall.edu, or you can call my office phone at 304 696 6083. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now. But do any of you all have any questions to type here into the chat section? I'll give it about a minute to see if any of you all have any questions. While you all are going through and typing questions, if you do have any, I just wanted to say that we are offering daily tours still of campus Monday through Friday that you are able to sign up for on our website. Just go to marshall.edu/experience, and you're able to see a large variety of things that the university offers. We also have a virtual open house available for you to check out if you are all interested in that. You'll be able to get a great in-depth look at campus. You'll be able to get a virtual tour of campus and learn about each individual major that we have to offer. But I don't see any questions, any additional questions popping up in there. So I will just say thank you all so much. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. Marshall was somewhere that I definitely felt grateful to consider my home away from home while I was a student. And I really hope that you all have the opportunity to. And thank you so much. And I will go ahead now and I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much for joining us. After you close this window, you will get a quick 4-question survey. Please respond. Your recording of this session will be available in about a week at www.oacac.org, and you're welcome to sign up for more sessions at the same website, www.oacac.org. Thank you for your attention and attendance tonight, and have a nice evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.